what does it mean to you to be a female leader in the society?
In Islam, women is always above all that. As a leadership woman, we micromanage everything.
How do you divide that responsibility between the two of you?
In a way, that's how women take care of everything. And when you begin taking care of everything and being the nurturer of the family, quote unquote, you're the leader in the house.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Luminihsan, and I am Celica. I'll be your host for today. So today we'll be exploring themes of leadership, empowerment, and the divine balance of power and femininity. So it's a big question here in society. Can a woman truly lead with strength and still preserve her feminine energy, her nurturing soul? But today's guest shows us not only is that possible, but it's also empowering for women. So we're honored to have with us today the incredible Sara Sofyan. She's a fashion influencer, an entrepreneur, a mother, a wife, who beautifully embodies the harmony of leading in the public sphere while also nurturing the tranquility at home. So Sara, it's such a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. Such an honor. I think this is a good platform to share for every other woman to hear what our thoughts, and we can share it in a safe place like this.
Oh, mashallah. It's very lovely to have you here. We're very honored to have you to share with us your experience here, and to start things off today. I want to talk about your impressive career in the fashion industry. So you're an entrepreneur, but you're also a student. You talked about how you're now doing studies in the fashion industry, but at the same time, you're also a leader. What does it mean to you to be a female leader in the society?
So when you think about leader, you don't automatically think about women in this stigma. Usually a leader is someone who's very strong, very outspoken, very open-minded, and usually that kind of words related to very manly. But on the other hand, if you think about it, women leads in their own ways. I think in this new era when women talk about femininity, modernization, new era, being your own voice and etc., they forgot that in Islam, women is always above all that. They show us that you have to respect women. That's why a Muslim woman wears the hijab, is to cover themselves so they were seen not as an object, but who they are. Because can you imagine if you saw something, you have to look beautiful without showing anything from your body. You have to make people listen to you without expecting people to see something from you before that. So they don't have any don't have any judgment towards us. So it's literally what you say and how you say it and how you show yourself to the public that they judge. And in leadership, women only seen as maybe a negative way. But if you see, let's say, leadership always seen in a big corporation thing. But if you see a housewife, they're the leader of their house.
That's true.
If you see a man, we see them as a leader, as the head of the family. You see the head, but us women, we're the neck.
That's true.
We show them where to go, where to see. It seems that it's not seen, but it's there. So as a leadership woman, we micromanage everything. We know everything in the house. Where's the toothpaste? Where's the crayon? Where's my document from 2 days ago? We know that. Men don't know that.
That's true.
They don't build to know that. But we can show them where they are. And I think in a way, that's how women take care of everything. And when you begin taking care of everything and being the nurturer of the family, being a leader, being someone who organizes everything, doesn't necessarily have to have the negative stigma in women, because unconsciously we're always leading everything. okay, so tomorrow you're gonna have this and this and this and this and this. This is your lunch box. This is your report card. And then for the husband, when they go away, you're gonna have this for tomorrow. You have the conference. You need a black suit. You need a casual for the dinner. You need this and this and this. Doesn't necessarily like seen, but it's there.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. So you talk about how women are leaders at the household, right? Because we're the ones that show the directions for men to look, right? But then leadership for you especially applies not only in the household but also in the office job, right?
Yep.
And we speak of fitrah. You said before, men are not built for certain things, but women are to be able to lead in the household, to be able to multitask, and to know where things are. But then there's also this God-given gift of energies like being more nurturing, more caring, a little bit more emotional. Sometimes as women we make decisions with our feelings, you know. And you said that before, it appears as if it's a weakness in the eyes of people to have that that side of us as women in leadership. But how did you find this female fitrah to shape the way you lead in an office setting?
In the office setting, okay. So most of my employees women. So we're talking about hormones in the office. We're talking about hormones in the office. We cannot like debate that. We have that. We have that emotional part, the sensitivity part, and then everything. So my approach to them, it's like, here, you see me now as your boss. This time, at this moment, in this table, I'm mad at you because you're not doing what I asked you to do. This is your mistake. I asked you to do this. Okay, finish, halas. Okay, let's have a lunch. Let's talk about your son again. Let's talk about your family again. So you have to part your way. When is your professionalism and when is your personal? After I'm mad at you, after I told you what's your mistake, and then after I asked you to do your job task and then you didn't do it or something like that, I have the right to be mad at you as an employer to an employee. But after that, you want to talk about something else, and then you want to talk about your household, or you want to talk about the clothes that you want to buy or something like that. It's done. But you have to have an area or timing to separate and segregate between the professional and the personal. I'm the kind of woman who's like, I'm gonna be mad in front of your face, but that's it. I'm not gonna talk about it behind your back. I'm not gonna bring it up again in the next 2 months, which what women always do. But that's what I did. I did at that time. I'm being professional. You being professional. You're the employee. I'm the employer, and I'm here as your boss. Have this. I have some disappointment towards what you did in your work, and I have the right to tell you the right and wrong in the professional thing that you didn't do. But after that, it's done.
Mashallah.
I think you have to separate, and you cannot be the kind of boss like when you have the lunch together and then there's the other employee around, not just her, and then you talk, you know what she did last time? Nah, I don't do that. You don't trash talk other people in front of other people, especially the employee. If she have the problem, if she have the thing that she hasn't done and you don't like it, you call her personally, one-on-one. This is what I asked you to do. This is what I don't like. This is the improvement that I need you to do. It's as a team, as a professional. So you see it to make the company better and bigger, not personal, nothing personal. I think you have to be able to separate that. As it's hard sometimes because women have this intimacy issue, because when they think like you know her for a while, you get to work with them like 6 to 10 hours a day, you talk about everything, so the line is blurred. But I think you still have to determine which time that you have to be the boss and which time you have to be her friend, and doesn't mean that you cannot be both. It's going to be a good relationship if you can be both. But when I speak in the point of view of the boss, it means that I need something for the company. It's not personal. In the eyes of the company, you haven't done your job right, and this is what I asked you to do. But after that, if we go around and then we talk and then we laugh, it's finished.
Mashallah. So it's about segregation, knowing your role in each place for each time. But at the same time, I also think what you've been doing when it comes to making feedbacks for your team is that nurturing value, that quality you have as a female, you place in a way where you're trying to shape also future leaders and making sure that your team is taken care of when they're under your wing, right? So it's a quality that even though it's present at home, but you try to put that in an office setting in a way that encourages them to grow for the company.
So let's say if they make mistake. At first, I want to hear their side of the story because I'm not the one who's doing the mistake. So I don't know what happened behind that make her or them do that mistake. So sometimes you have to be able to see from the other side of the story. There's always two sides of every story. So let's say the caterer is late. I will ask what happened. Is the caterer fault? Is there any traffic? Is there any demonstration? Is there any... So okay, after that, you can switch your level, let's say your level of anger or disappointment. So the caterer is late because there's a demonstration, which is, you cannot control that.
That's true.
Okay. And then you can calculate the emotion that you shown. Should I be mad as in the level of this level, that level? Or I just like, okay, so it's not your fault, it's not their fault, it's something that we cannot control. Okay, so I don't have to be mad.
Okay.
I just have to know the reason. I just have to know the reason, you just have to explain it to me. And then there, it seems like being understandable and listen is very hard.
Yeah.
So you have to understand and want to listen.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you won't get any solution.
Yeah. Mashallah. I agree. So leadership is not just about commanding, it's about listening, it's about being able to embrace your team, right? Who are under your wing. But on top of that, I want to talk about the balance you live in your life, because you've successfully led as an entrepreneur, but at the same time you're a wife, you're a mother, and you also said you're a student now, right? How do you balance all these roles at the same time?
Okay, so first thing first, before I've done everything, I always ask for my husband's permission. Anything, literally, like even if I go to the supermarket, every time I go out from the house, I will call him. I go to supermarket because the salmon is out. Okay. For him, it's nothing. But I just want to make sure that when someone take a picture of me, I saw your wife. I know she's there. So everything goes through him. Every business decision, every school needs, and everything for that related to our son, everything goes to him. So I'm fortunate enough and privileged enough to have the support that I need. So he knows that I'm a very social person. I like to meet people, I like to go around, I like to have inspiration and everything. And he's the type of person that's very introvert. We're opposite attract, literally. And then I respect every time, like when I want something, like let's say I get an offer of a job somewhere, and then I ask him, I really want it, and he said, nope. And I will ask why, and he say, just no, I will never ask why again. Maybe I just pray, so he won't. Maybe I just pray so he will change his mind. But most likely, I will say, so this is a very good opportunity. I give him the reason, and usually if it's overseas or if I have to go away, it's not more than 5 days. And the last time I go, I'm making sure that my son is in his late elementary school. So usually what I did is I prioritize things and I don't shake things up. I literally prioritize my priority. So if the job is at night, I'm not gonna accept that, because I have rules on my own. So before Maghrib, I have to be at home. And then if the job more than 1 week, I'm not gonna accept that. And I have to go with someone that he knows, and the job is something that's really important or something that I really want. And we discussed the job offer. And then usually, most of the time, 80-90%, he will let me go. But the priority is all the things in the house is done. Maybe some of people doesn't know, but every time, like today, I'm a bit late because he's at home. I forgot this is a holiday. He's at home. I'm making sure that the table is ready for his lunch first. And then he got his lunch, and my son have his lunch. And I make sure the helper knows which one goes for Bapak, which one goes for Ade, the food. And then I go. Okay. So I'm making sure that the house is done. It's perfect. Because all that my husband wants is the house is good, my son is good, everything that related to him is all taken care of. You can ask some people that go work with me when I'm overseas. I'm in Brussels the other time having a photo shoot, and then my husband texts me, "My mom is coming. What she's gonna have for dinner?" Yeah. I will be the one who ordered the food for my mother-in-law who's coming to my house.
Even all the way in Brussels?
All the way in Brussels, 7 hour away. Okay. And I was like, okay, I mean, like, even though I have a team to take care of everything, but he's gonna be the one who asks me that directly. I'm not gonna let him ask the helper. That's not how the prioritizing. So he knows that I'm taking care of the house well. That's what I want him to know. So he knows I'm still responsible towards what I have to do. That's why he's give me a very free and very adjusting to my work, because he knows that everything's gonna be okay, even though I'm not there.
Yeah. So balance for you is about prioritizing, but your top priority is your husband's ridho, right? So whatever it is that you go through in your life, the dynamic in your schedule, as long as you pamit to your husband and you ensure that your husband is aware and approves of this activity that you carry out, inshallah, the barakah will follow, right?
And then I do have the school, right? So every time the work's coming, every early semester, I send my team the schedule. So here's the thing, every Monday, Tuesday and Thursday from this hour to this hour, I'm not gonna accept any work because I have to do my study.
Okay.
So that's the same thing with like my son. So this date, next week I have a Hatamul Quran for my son and a graduation. After that, I'm free.
Mashallah.
Something like that.
You know, I'm always very impressed of the women in this world who are able to juggle so many different roles.
Yeah.
You know, and still being able to prioritize the one with the biggest amanah, like being a wife and being a mother. Because if we look at an exemplary story from the Quran, like we have Siti Khadijah radiallahu anha, who was a successful entrepreneur. She was the biggest businesswoman in her era, but at the same time, she was also a devoted wife to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? And her story lives on in the Quran forever.
True.
And obviously that was there intentionally for us to exemplify from.
Yeah.
She's a role model that all women like us can follow the lead from, right? And I feel like a lot of women in our era has echoed that similar balance, like you, mashallah. Now you've carried out different roles in your life, but at the same time being able to prioritize these things. What would you say to women who feel that they have to choose between these roles, but actually there's that ability to have the balance of everything?
So we always think that maybe in my age, already think that we want to go to Jannah, right?
Yeah.
And we always think that I should do this, I should do this, I should do this, I should fast, I should stay up late and do tahajjud and every day, so I can go to Jannah easily. I have to zikir 1,000 this ayat. The simplest thing. I know it's hard because it's very hard for me at the beginning. Same. But now that I'm growing older and maybe wiser, it's so easy. You just have to say yes to your husband. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because he's human. He's not perfect. But yeah, as I said before, I don't know, I mean, like many other women out there have fast every other day and then do the zikr, do the salat and everything. But the Quran said all you have to do is obey your husband.
Inshallah.
As simple as that. Maybe it's shocking for everybody for me to say this, because outside I'm the kind of alpha female, look very confident, I can do everything on my own, look very put together and everything. But my mom, I saw my mother and my mother-in-law as a role model, and how is they nurture their family being the role model and taking care of everything in the family, literally. And I saw how, even though my dad and my father is very strong role model of men, they're very dependent to their wives. And I want to create that atmosphere with our relationship, because I remember the story of Obama and Michelle Obama. You know that story? It's just a funny story about Michelle Obama saying to Barack Obama, they're in a diner one day, and then she said, I used to date that man. He's a cook in the diner. And then Barack Obama said to Michelle, oh, you're going to be a cook's wife if you're with him. And she said, no, he's going to be a president, not you.
Because it's Michelle who has pushed into that role. Right.
So you see the it's sometimes there because there's always a story. There's a great woman behind a great man. But sometimes you don't have to be that great woman. You just have to be a supportive woman that listen to the story, and then, you know what a husband wants after work? A hot cup of tea and a cake, and then you're there, and hi, assalamualaikum, how's your day? And then they need time to unload and everything and have a good meal, and they know that the house is taken care of, the sun is good, the house is clean, you look pretty. Simple, it's very simple. And it's hard because we women have this emotional hormones that going around, and then seeing other people stories, and we tend to because we don't do a lot, so I think we tend to think about other people's achievement and story, and we do a lot of K-drama. So I think for me is again, go back to we have to remember what's our fitra. It's very easy, but it's very hard at the same time. But with practice, I think the more you say yes to your husband, the more he say yes to you.
MashaAllah. From your story, the way I see it, I feel like you understand the importance of women's role in a household, right? As a wife and as a mother. So I want to delve into that a little bit. You talk a lot about your dynamic with your husband and how your husband plays an important role in your career decisions, right? But I also want to talk about your role as a mother, because both roles are also doors to Jannah, right? Both are very big amanas.
That's true.
And as a mother, it's a huge responsibility. I'm not a mother yet. I'm not even a wife yet. But I want to learn from the best. I mean, I also have my mom, but from you who has juggled all these multiple roles. So there's a saying for women, for mothers actually in Islam. I think the phrase is called Al-Ummu Madrasatul Ula, which means mother is the child's first school, right? So for me, that phrase itself is a reminder that me as women, I have to gain as much knowledge as I can, as much experience as I can while I'm still living for myself, so that one day I can pass all of these down to my children, inshallah, if Allah grants me that responsibility to be a mother. But how do you view all of these life paths that you've gone through as a way to, be present in your children's life, because you've gone through so much in your career, you've experienced so many things. Is that part of the legacy you want to pass down to your children as well, or how is your dynamic like with your children?
Okay, so I have a son. He's 12 now. He's preteen. He's preteen. So I think it's very good. Mother is the first madrasah for the children. As a woman, I think the best investment for your life is being smart. You cannot be too overdressed or too oversmart. You have to be well dressed and very smart. Because it's not just for your son or your family, but it's for you, how you value yourself. Because first, overdress. Because when you saw someone, you only have 7 seconds for people to judge you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
First impressions.
Yeah, first impression. It doesn't have to be wow or like very extravaganza. No, you just have to be well presented, bersih, clean, nicely look. And then the second one is about smart. Now that I have a preteen, which is in this era, he's in alpha generation now. He's an alpha generation. I'm a millennial, so it's far apart.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I was sitting in Ibu Aisyah Dahlan lecture.
Yeah.
And then she said, why is it in the Quran told that you have to raise your child in their own generation? Because Allah, mashallah, I just knew this 2 days ago when I saw the lecture. She said, every time a new generation, a child is born, the synapse, the brain wave in their brain is from Allah, from Allah is regenerate more. So the generation, if you realize this generation is more smarter, more sensitive, more outspoken, they can pick up, do the internet faster, they can do the gadget easily. For us it's very hard, but for them it's very easy. They saw YouTube and they can do it on their own. Even my son, he saw YouTube and he can do animation. And he's like, how do you know it? I saw it from YouTube, Mama. That's it? Yeah, I do Canva from YouTube. I cannot do it because I have to do for my school, right? I asked my son to do a presentation. How can I do this line from here to here, Bang? This, Mama. Ini begini caranya, Mama. How do you know? No, I just try every button from the Canva. Okay, you have the time. So us as a mother, you have to be more, you have to upgrade yourself. You have to know how to communicate to your children, but with a poker face, because sometimes they tell a story, say, Mama, that my friend, it's not usual for us to hear something like that. But you have to accept it because that's their life. And you have to be able to do the poker face. Oh, really? That's what they say. I don't think that's a good way to say it, ya Abang. Emang artinya apa, Mama? What it means? Well, but you cannot, in my generation, you can sugarcoat everything. When your mom say no, you don't ask why. But this generation, when I say no, why, Mama? My friend do it. Yeah, I know, but that's your mom's friend. I don't do that. Yeah, but you're the same age as her. Yeah, but so you have to give a lot of example, especially in this era, if you want to be related to Akidah, and you want to show which one is wrong, which one is right, how to do it good, it's very hard because they're exposed to a lot of things. And I mean, let's say if you want to minimize their gadget, but they need it for school.
That's true.
They don't use books anymore. And you cannot be their CCTV every 2 minutes. Do you open your school or do you open your games? Yeah, you cannot do that. So, as a mother, I know that this is very cliche, but a lot of people always say that I can go through this because of my mom's prayer. Yeah, I think that's other than keeping up with the education and technologies and everything. A mother should do a lot of sujood. Because that's the only way you can protect your child through Allah. There's no other way. It's too the freedom, the technology, the exposure. It's so wide, and you cannot ngebendung itu lagi. You cannot cover it. You cannot no. You cannot do that. As soon as they growing up, I think you do. That's why maybe back then when in Australia, my mom always said, I always ask God to protect you because there's nothing else I can do. You're 1,000 miles away in the other continent. That's why I believe that a lot of my success and my achievement is going through my mom's dua. And then that's what I'm trying to preserve for my son. In every prayers and every hopes, I always ask Allah to please take care of him. Please take care of him because we're not going to be there for him.
MashaAllah. See, when you say there's a great woman behind every great man, not just in terms of wife and husband, that context, right? It's also mothers and children, right? Because like you said before, a mother's prayer can go a very long way. It might as well be the ones that save us, especially when our mothers can always be around with us, right? Because there's so many things in the world that us as children will have to face. And when our mother isn't there to physically protect us, then our mothers can protect us through dua, right?
Pray.
But what's interesting also is that, most women are mothers, right? But there's no ultimate blueprint to be the ideal mother, right? Everyone is learning as they're going through that role.
Yeah.
And you're going through that role with, again, other responsibilities as well, with being a leader in the fashion industry, being a student as well. And qadarullah, alhamdulillah, you're fortunate enough to be able to communicate very well with your husband to be able to prioritize things. But I personally work in an office setting where qadarullah, I have to see my colleagues prioritize their job over their children or their households because not because they're willing to, but because of circumstances, right? Because they're placed in a position where they don't get to choose. Right? What advice would you give to these women who feels like they don't have an option, but maybe there is, but they just don't know it yet?
Okay, so here's the thing. For me, some of my work usually takes a lot of time too. But so sometimes my son will come back at 2 and I haven't got home yet. I just come home around Maghrib and then we have a night and dinner together and everything. For me, a quality makes more than the quantity. So when you're with your child, if you're a working mom, when you're with your child, you're with your child. Be present, be there, listen to them, respond to them. Share your story too. Because I remember I read some research somewhere, children who brought up with a working mom has more chance to be more successful because they have a role model. So you don't have to feel guilty if you have to work 9 to 5 or you have to make amends for your household and you have to work also together with your husband. No, it means that you do more because you don't expect to do that, but you do it. You do more for what? For their happiness, for their, so you know that your son or a daughter have more chance, let's say, to go to a better school, to have a more comfortable life. So you actually don't be too hard on yourself. But if I think that you can be, if you felt that I just have so little time with my child, so make a best of it. Do what things that makes you happy. So if you have a daughter, go to a salon together. Put your phone on airplane mode. Don't let your child see child do what they see. So you ask them, don't play with your phone, but you're in front. You know what I mean? So you cannot expect that from them. So okay, we're gonna have quality time together. What do you want to do? I go to time zone and do basketball for him. So it was like, oh, it's so tiring. But that's what he likes. He likes to do that. And then I want to go to, so I have a son, right? So I go to a plane museum, dinosaur museum, things that not womanly, but that's what he likes. And then I always did that. Okay, bang, we go to, where do you want to go? Ma, ako mau main game, main ini. Okay. And then when he do his Lego, I'm going to be beside her and then looking for the pieces that he needs. I was like his assistant, but we're talking about it. And then, I mean, like, don't feel guilty about the last time you have, but be present while you have it. Because that's a precious time. They're going to grow up in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you want to have that quality time, make it. I think like the 2 hours you did with them without the gadget and without any distraction will be remembered more compared to if you're there every day but you're not there. You
like
know what
the
I mean?
body is present, the soul is not there.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes like my son like, Ma, I want to play online game with my friend online. Well, what should I do? you just be there. That's what he said. No, I want you here, but you're playing with your friend. Yeah, I know, but I want you here. I sleep, it's okay. He just want to see. That's my mom. Because he's a boy. So he still want to play game online and everything. But I said to him, so what should I do when you're playing game? Can I go? No, you're still here. Okay.
I see.
Sometimes they just want us to be there.
Yeah. So it's about quality, not about quantity. So even though you have very little time, make sure that we're present, that we're intentional, and we make sure that we do things that we both like. I say we, I don't have a child yet, but I do this with my mom. So I feel like that's a pretty good example already. But again, when it comes to raising children, I feel like there's a shared responsibility between you and your husband, right?
True.
So how do you divide that responsibility between the two of you?
So because I have son, right? So I always told my husband, like, there's things that I cannot teach him because you're the one who knows how to teach him, and you're the one who's been through it. Especially he's in preteen, he's inshallah is going through puberty and everything. I say, it's just not my thing. I cannot handle it. I said, okay, I will teach him. But as a mother, I think it's my responsibility to teach adab, to show that my son is. For me, I don't need him to be the smartest in the class, but I want him to be the kindest in that. Because it's my pride and joy if my son can open the door for someone, can help press the elevator button, can say excuse me and say thank you even to the people that help her around the house. And then that's the achievement that I want for him. I want my peers, my other moms said, oh Sarah, your son is so kind. He said hi to me. He salim. That's the achievement that I want. I think every mother is different. They want different things for their son, because what I see is in the future, I'll be more proud if someone said, oh, you have the best and kindest son.
Mashallah.
That's my goal. That's not on his father's side, because I think when you're like after meal, take your plate to the kitchen bang. There's someone who can do that for him. But like, take your plate, do your own, fold your uniform back to your closet. Someone can do that for him, but I don't want that for him. He have the privilege and the advantage, mashallah, but I don't want him to be big-headed about it. Because you never know whether he's gonna have it in the future or not. So I make sure you can make your own cup of tea, you can do nasi goreng, you can make a talor coplok, you can do indomie on your own, you can fold your own clothes, you can do your own bed and everything. You know your time to pray, your discipline. I think that's the most important thing for me.
Mashallah. Mashallah. For me, that's such an insightful message, because again, I'm not a mother yet. I'm not even a wife yet, but being able to hear stories from women who are able to do their role so flawlessly with so many other responsibilities as well gives me the motivation that maybe one day I'm able to do that as well, if inshallah Allah grants me that responsibility. So before we end today's session, which has been super wonderful, can you give us one last message for the women out there who are struggling to find that balance between all the multiple roles they're juggling?
So in the pageant role, you've heard 3 B's, you know, brain, beauty, behavior. That's in the pageant world. For me, my own motto is, it's Indonesian, baik, berakhlak, bahagia.
Mashallah.
Because if you're kind, even to yourself, if you're kind to other people, you help other people, you're nice to people, you get around with people, you're kind to yourself, you don't push yourself too much. If you're tired, go to sleep. If you don't want to meet your friend, it's okay. You can watch a DVD, you can watch a Netflix at home with a coffee and a biscuit. It's fine. And from that little kindness, you will feel that little happiness. You know, the small things that makes you happy. It's like, I got that last piece of chocolate Dubai that everybody wants. Oh, that's my happiness. I have my own cup of coffee. I have my Netflix. my son is go to school, my husband is going to work, the house is on my own, I can take a bath for a long time. That's my little happiness. And you have your relationship with Allah, you grew that relationship. It's like you're having a best friend in the midnight when you do tahajjud, when you do your zikir. It's like you have that calmness, and then you know that this life, it's not yours.
Yeah.
So whatever happens in the future, it's the best.
Yeah.
That's Allah is the best planner. So what happened, whether it's good, whether it's bad, it's always probably for the best, because Allah answer your prayer in 3 ways.
Yeah.
Yes, no, and wait. So when He give it to you, means that it's best for you. But if He doesn't give it to you, means that it doesn't good for you. And if you have to wait, means there's a bigger picture
Mashallah.
behind it.
Mashallah, that really hit home for me.
So you have to be more, it makes your life easier. It's more like, whatever Allah wants, Allah will do, Allah will give.
Yeah, leaving it all to Allah, because we don't always have the control, right?
True.
Mashallah. Thank you again, Sara. It's been such a blessing to have you here. And to our Luminihsan audience, remember that whatever role that is that you're going through, it's very possible for us to juggle through all of these as long as we keep our tawakkal and as long as we know our priorities, you know. And until next time, inshallah, we continue gathering in such halaqah to continue learning from such inspirational role models like Sara being one of them. And don't forget to continue with our next episodes, because we're going to have more episodes coming in the next sessions. So we'll see you again next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.